Hey everybody, welcome to Kats Creations Live on a Friday night, where tonight I'm going to be teaching you a simple craft that my brother and I made when we were, I want to say maybe, I'm trying to think, like 8 or 9 years old. So these are super cute things that you can use. So this is kind of like my throwback to the 70s, I think it would have been. Let me see when I was born. Then I have to count plus 8. 72. Okay, so this would have been a 1972 Christmas design. This is super fun to do with your kids because the only thing you're going to need is yarn. I got my yarn in Christmas colors, so I got red, red, green, and white for Christmas, so that you can do a whole bunch of different color combinations. So I'm going to teach you how to do them 2 different ways. So these are yarn, what do they call them? What's the official term, Steve?
This is Lifesaver Yarn Ornament?
Well, so there's a version that's going to be made with the Lifesavers. So I'm going to teach you how to do, and this was my first attempt today. So this was my first attempt at the Lifesaver yarn. They call it doll. So I think it's called the Lifesaver doll yarn tutorial. So we're going to be making these. I'm going to show you how to make these. And this is just done with 2 different colors. And then we're just going to not do the Lifesaver ones. And I'm going to teach you how you find the right colored guy that came out the best. Then I'm going to teach you how to make these ones, which are made out of yarn with the 2 different, I did mine red and green, but you could pop where I have the green in here and do white. You can make the body, if you notice the head, the body, and the legs are one color yarn, and then the arms are another set. When my brother and I did this back in Christmas of 1972, we did these and then went around our block when kids could go around the block before cell phones and not worry about what happens to your kids. And we sold these to our neighbors for like 25 cents each, because we thought that, back then 25 cents could buy you an awful lot. So we made these in all different color combinations. We made them like, I did this one in the green and red, and then we would do ones with green and white or red and white. We had a whole bunch mixed up, and then we would just take them, carry them to our neighbor's house, and we would sell them. So these are super cute things that your kids can do. No glue required. All it is yarn, a piece of cardboard, scissors, and that's pretty much it. So let me go ahead and make sure I am pulling you guys up so that I have comments on my side. So hi Alfreda and Patty and Joan, Marisol, Donna. Welcome. It's your first live. Welcome from West Virginia. Let me make sure. Do you have any more comments than I do, babe? Are those what you see?
Happy Friday, yeah.
Do you see more comments than what I just read?
No.
Okay. And I just saw, hi, Kathy. So, super simple craft. Why? Because I just got finished doing 5 swags yesterday and then 5 evergreen wreaths. Boxed them up and got everything all shipped out, and they're on their way to South Carolina. So I just wanted a simple craft, but because my brother and I have been talking about our Christmases when we were kids, I wanted to make these, and I'm actually going to make a bunch of them and then give them to my brother at Christmas, because I know he will appreciate it, because we love homemade gifts. And the fact that you could bring back something from your past and have it be super cute. So I know he'll appreciate it, but I thought that you guys would like something that you could do with your grandkids, especially now as we're starting to get together for the holidays. So you guys ready? I see Shirley and Patricia. Hello. Diana says, hope had a nice Thanksgiving. We actually were very small this year. We just had Steve and I, for the most part. Our youngest daughter, Kaylee, came over to basically grab dinner and then eat it and leave. So we just went to Cracker Barrel since it's only us 2. And just got the Cracker Barrel what was it, like ham and turkey,
Dinner, yeah.
their little dinner, and then that was it. And then we just came home, so no cooking, no nothing. Yeah, Jean, this is exactly why. It's something different. And then you never know, you might choose to make something simple and cute like this and put it in the box with a wreath order, you know, something vintage from, or like the little Lifesaver guy. So I'm going to show you how to do both. So we'll start with just the plain yarn guy first. So this one's done in 2 different colors. So if we wanted to, like I said, we could pop the white in here and use the white as the tie. So that's what we're gonna do this time. So we're gonna do what's called the body. The head, the body, and the legs is all done with one section of yarn. And so what I did is I took my Amazon boxes, tore the lids off, and then these are cut to 12-inch pieces. Although I like the way this one turned out better, and he was my 9-inch guy. So, and this guy, believe it or not, he's the same. I don't know why they turned out differently. Oh well, we'll try it and see what happens. Because I've been making these and slowly improving on the process. Who knew that people at like when we were 8, we were making these and they were the bomb. So.
Yeah, Debbie said my grandma made these.
See? Okay. So.
Jean asked, did you post pictures of the things you just shipped out, swags and wreaths?
I did the table, the centerpiece, you guys know in the private group, I did together with us, I think, wasn't that Monday? And then Tuesday, I think, was it that? Tuesday, I'm trying to think.
No.
Yes. So Sunday we made the table centerpiece. Monday I had a guest crafter, and then Tuesday I came and I showed you pictures of how we did the mantle one. So we're just going to start off by wrapping our yarn, and some people do it this way. I guess we could go either or, it doesn't matter. This is how I did it, so I'm going to go with what I've been doing. So you're just going to hold this and you're going to wrap this. I think I did 40 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to drop this on the floor. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You don't want it to get too tight. That's why I have it on the floor. Let me hold my thing here. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It's bending again. And hold on, grab my yarn. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Come on. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Done. Okay, so I'm just gonna push this all flat. I'm gonna cut this one off right at the edge. I'll just let it be a little longer so I know that's where it's at. And we're gonna try to mix this up with the white. So I'm gonna get a piece for my hanger. You need a piece, I guess I should have left longer. I'm gonna take these are about 10-inch pieces. And I'm just pulling these out, cutting these off so that these will all be my cut ends. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is we want to slide this off. When we did it together as kids, one of us would just hold everything on our hands and we would go around our hands. So it was a lot easier. Here I'm kind of having to adapt. And what I'm gonna do is slide this off, and I'm gonna hold my ends like this, and I'm gonna lay everything perfect. Because all this is a gauge to make sure that everything is measured correctly. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go right to the middle, and looks about to the middle. I'm gonna make the hanger so that we have something to hold it by. And then we're gonna go ahead and wrap the ends. So down here at the very, very edge. So these are going to be the legs. So I try to get it right close to the edge. Otherwise you end up cutting a whole bunch off and you waste quite a bit. So I just put knots in the ends so they don't slip out. And we'll cut these. There we go. Cut this one. I try to keep my knots all on the same side so that way they're all on the back. You could tie little bows on them and make them super cute. We were just very generic in how we did this. And I'm going to go ahead and tie this one. Keep this. I want to keep all my yarn together. I'm going to try to get these. Bring this a little close to the edge. Just like that. I have like, it's probably an inch. So I'm tying this off an inch from the ends. Okay. Just like this. And then while we're doing this now, you're gonna go ahead and snip the ends so he has furry feet.
Brenda, that's good. She said you could wrap your cardboard with duct tape to make it sturdy.
Yes.
And
You
then
could.
Brenda said, wow, I haven't made them in years.
See? Okay, this was like me taking a trip back to vintage 1970s. So I'm pulling some of my threads through so they're a little tighter and even. And then you can just go ahead and trim these off so they're all the same. And we're gonna do the same with the other side. I find if I just do a little at a time, they come out better than trying to just manhandle it and do it all at the same. Feels like spaghetti. So there we go. And then, ooh, I didn't mean to do that. I cut the center one off, which is supposed to be my hanger. So I'm just gonna go back in right here. And I'm just gonna leave my hanger. Okay. We will knot him twice. This we're leaving. And so now what you want to do is pull it forward, and now we're going to make the head. So you're just folding it in half so it looks like this. Looks like a Wendy's thing, doesn't it? A
Wendy's have rating in.
Yeah, exactly. So pull it tight, and then we're going to leave about an inch at the top for the head. So I'm going to come in here, and we're going to go ahead and tie this about an inch from the top. So this is why doing it on a cutting mat is good. There's our head. So we have a nice perfect tight ball. Some people put a styrofoam ball in it and then wrap a yarn around it. I'm like, why? You don't have to. It's one extra step. It's an extra cost. You don't need to. And then now we need to separate the body from the legs. So we have our head. So we're going to grab our last piece of yarn, and I'm going to make sure there's a couple pieces here that are wanting to pull back out. So I'm tightening this up a little bit so they don't all pull. And so now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to leave, it's about 1.5 inches, I think, for the body. Just like so. So we have our legs, our body, our head. We're going to go ahead and cut this excess off. And now we need to make the arms. So let me go ahead and pull all this in. This is where you can make some last final adjustments if you notice that things are kind of like, where's the one? There's one I did that was little, like this one's a little bumpy, but you can take and pull your threads and smooth all that out. And then obviously, if they're a tad too long, you want to keep them all the same. And so now we're gonna make the arms. And the arms are done on, I think this one's 5.5 inches, and it is. So we are going to mix this up. Let's grab our white. So we will need 2 pieces of white, and we're gonna do green arms. So I'm gonna hold this here. Same thing. We're gonna go around, what did I say, 20 times? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Done. Cut it. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to slide it off. Just like so. We are going to take our yarn and do the exact same thing. We're going to go about 1 inch from the edge and tie this, put a knot in it, make sure it's nice. We got some good tension on there. Just looks nicer if it's got some tension. And we're gonna do the same thing. Put my yarn 1 inch from the edge. We're gonna tie it, and then we'll cut these off. And like I said, you can put little bows on them if you'd like. Make sure everything is pulled through, and then go ahead and cut your ends. And then obviously if they're a tad too long, I basically just make them long enough for like my thumb, and then I just cut all the excess off. So it gives it a nice little cut look. We'll do this. We will give it another little trim because it's just a touch too long. Otherwise his body would be way out of proportion. And then this is the fun part. So keeping the knots to the back, you're going to basically just take your fingers and work your fingers through the body part halfway. And then you're going to take it and push it all the way through and bring it to the other side. And remember to keep all your knots in the same direction. So when you flip it, and make sure all my yarn pieces are straight. There we go. And there you have it. There's our little yarn man. So it just depends if his legs are a little too, you know, the hairy part of the feet feel a little too long, like these ones do. I'm gonna go ahead and trim those up just so they look like they match better. And then we'll take this and spin this around to the back. So there you go. There's our little yarn guy. So vintage ornaments from the 1970s-ish. So that's how you make them. And obviously we made them, like I said, we did green with the red. And then I did this one here. So, hey, I'm almost done. So I'm gonna probably make 2 different other colors, and then we'll be good. So now I'm gonna show you guys how to do a variation of this and add a roll of Lifesavers to it. It's a little bit different than the ones that we were doing, but still the same. So, see, Lynn, I remember when you used to put a roll of Lifesavers as the body. Well, here you go. That's what we did too. I think we sold these ones for a little bit more. I just don't remember what Lifesaver prices would have been in the 1970s. So let me pre-cut all my yarn. Now this one, it's a little bit different. So you can either do the bottom half of the body one color or the top half of the body another color. You can do it like I did, all in red, and maybe come in and add accent green as your tie, which I think is what I'm gonna do. So let me get this one all prepped. So I did it red. Let's do green body with red ties. So let me go ahead and get my red ready. So I'm gonna cut this to 18. This will be my hanger. Oops. We need our hanger. We need the part for our head. We need 2 pieces for our arms to make our arms. We need, I'm gonna drop my yarn, 2 pieces to make our legs. So there's 1, 2, and then I'll show you how we're gonna do the other one. Okay, so what questions do you guys have that I can answer for you? Before we start the Lifesaver guide. Any questions? Nothing? Okay. So, what you will need for the Lifesaver one, a roll of Lifesavers. Or, I think this is how they're making them now. These are how you can buy them in the store. These are what come in the Lifesaver storybooks. Brenda, you could give breath mints to those people who really need it. You could. Okay. So, you will need a roll of Lifesavers. You will need either 1 skein of yarn. As you guys can see, I went and bought these at, where was it? I want to say Hobby Lobby. Was this Hobby Lobby?
No, I think it's Joanne.
Was it Joann's? I'm looking to see the SKU. It doesn't look like Joann's SKU. But anyway, I bought the Super Savers. So these are like no more than like $2 or $3 a piece. So you don't have to go super big on the cost side. Just go get the inexpensive skeins of yarn or the big bundles. Roll of Lifesavers. Scissors. You'll still need your boards. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so this one is gonna be 9 inches for the head and the arms. So we're gonna do this one in green. So we're just gonna do the same thing 20 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. But it basically is what you're doing is putting 20 here and then 20 on the back side. So we will cut this off. I'm actually going to leave a little piece a little bit longer. You'll understand why in a second. We're going to do the exact same things. So I'm looking for the piece that was my hanger. I think I doubled it. This is it. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to slide it off. Okay. Keep everything straight. We're going to go ahead and put our hanger on for the head. So right in the middle, just like so. Always knot it, never just do a single. Make sure they're not. Okay, and then you're gonna pull all this together. I know it seems kind of counterintuitive, but we're gonna do this nice and tight so we can get our head. So I'm gonna grab another piece for my head. Oop, kind of came down a little too tall. Right here. Same thing, still an inch from the top, unless you want them to have a really big head. There's that. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. And then what you're gonna do here is you're going to separate, mine kind of already did anyway, you're separating your arms. So we're gonna go ahead and put the end pieces around our arms. just like this. So we're kind of building this one a little bit differently because you have to build the top half and then the bottom. They're two totally separate pieces because you've got the Lifesaver rolls in the middle. So I am doing this. Can you guys see okay?
Yeah, I can see great.
Okay, I'm making sure I'm not sticking my head in the way. And then we're gonna do the same on the other side. Like I said, I think I have these little pieces cut to about 10 or 12 inches. Just whatever works for you. And I'm just trimming as I go. Just like so. And let me go ahead and take this one down. And then you're gonna go ahead and cut all your loops again, like we did on the first one. Making sure I got them all. Okay. Obviously that looks a little scraggly. Gotta clean that up. So I just give him a nice haircut so he has nice arms. Or she. Maybe this one's a she and the other one's a he. Who knows? And as you pull through it, and then it tightens up your yarn in the bundles here. Just don't pull too hard, you'll pull it through the other side. So there's that one. And then we'll give him a trim. Like I said, just to my thumb. It's kind of what I'm doing. So there we have the head part for our Lifesaver guy. Now we need to make the bottom half. So the bottom half's really super simple. We're gonna do that with green, and we're just gonna do the legs. We need longer legs than arms, so we're gonna use the same 5.5 inch board, because we're not gonna fold it like this. It's just gonna be straight shot. So 20 times around the, what is this, 5.5 inch board. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I have to keep going because I'm double counting. So 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Meaning double counting is I was counting the front and the back. Normally, if you just do it, you're gonna count as you bring it around the front, but I started counting differently. So I'm like, oh, they're gonna think I made this way too big. So let me grab my threads again. This one seems a little too short. No problem. Cut another long one. Okay. So this one, you're just gonna slide it off. And we are going to do the ends. So here we need an end. Remember, inch from the edge, or wherever you'd like your little feet to end. I find that if you just give them an inch, it's good. And we'll go ahead and cut this off. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Whoop. Okay. Inch from the other side. Just like so. And let's go ahead and pull that through. Cut those off. Now we're not going to cut the feet just yet, because what we need to do, here's our top part, here's our bottom half. what's going to end up being is when we string this through the Lifesaver roll, you want it snug enough to where you don't have gaps. There's some people who say, well, it's too hard of a process, so they just take it and they take their top right here, they add glue right here, and then they would plop this on here, which is fine. You could do that. Super simple to do it that way, but then you're putting glue on the ends, and then it makes it even harder to pull apart. This one you would just cut, you know, obviously, if you wanted the Lifesaver roll, you have to devastate the entire thing. Same thing here. Just depends on which way you want to do it. I'm not doing the glue process, but if you did, super simple, dab of glue, add this here. You would go ahead and add the legs here and then glue those to the bottom, and super simple, you're done. But the way we did it is we threaded our yarn all the way through the center of the Lifesavers. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. So I need a fairly long piece to do this. And what I'm going to do is work this through the top. I should have done this before. It's how I did it the first time. I actually left two pieces really super long. So let me just do it this way. So all I'm doing is adding this back in, and then I'm going to take a piece of yarn and then just tie this back on, because I need two pieces of yarn to make it all the way through, to pull it tight. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Oop, I need to make that a knot. I almost forgot. Ooh. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. I still, to this day, when I was describing this to Steve, I was like, I don't know how my brother and I did this at 9 and 10. So I think he was 8 and I was 10. So how we managed to do this, and here I am in my late 50s trying to figure this out. Oh my word, what a nightmare. Okay, so what I found to be easy is to put a knot at the end, because it's going to take a little bit of work to manage this knot all the way through my Lifesaver roll. So either if you have a metal skewer, if you have, what are those, the nut picks that you use to pick the walnuts out. I have wood skewer. I also have metal skewer. Those are what I'm going to use to work my yarn through the center of my Lifesaver roll. And we all know that there's a hole in the center of our Lifesavers. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is make sure I have holes all the way through, because I don't plan on eating the Lifesavers. I don't think we ever ate the Lifesavers. We just incorporated them into our design. And so now the challenge, it took me about 3 or 4 different attempts to get this all the way through where it didn't bunch up. So just bear with me.
Teresa said you could try a yarn needle, but you don't have one right now.
That is so true. Can you go look and see if you can find me
It's
in the sewing
too
kit?
late.
I'm gonna try doing this while Steve's going to that. Thank you, Teresa. Why did I not think of that? I did it when we were doing the stuffed fabric pumpkins. See, there's a reason why. And I think it's kind of bunching up in there. Oh my God, how insanely brilliant the yarn needle was. Let me try to get my metal skewer through. I'm always afraid the other one's gonna, there we go. I got it. Okay. It just takes a while to kind of weave it in there. And so this is what I'm saying. The reason why you have to make it tight is because you want to pull this so that it fits nice and snug on your Lifesaver. You don't want it to be like, you know, just kind of loose. But I guess if you want to do the glue thing will work. And then this is where, now I'm going to cut the knot off, and I'm going to get my legs. And now what I'm going to do is right up the middle, kind of snug to my lifesaver roll, I'm going to make my legs. So this is where I needed that center, but I couldn't make the center until I brought that string down or the yarn all the way down in the center of my lifesaver roll. So see, I just don't want to pull his head too tight because then I pull his head down in there. So there is that. And the reason why I did it same color is I didn't want to see the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. And then we're going to cut his feet and give him fuzzy feet again. Just like so. Make sure I got it all. Okay, we're going to trim up his, these ones are actually pretty good. See, you guys are coming up with weight. Okay, but think, I was only 10 years old. We didn't have yarn needles back then, at least not that I would have recalled. But now, oh heck yeah, so much easier. I'd still use the metal skewer to get your hole all the way through your lifesavers. That way you don't damage your yarn hook. So, super cute little feet again. We'll go ahead and give him a nice look on his feet. There we go. I'm just spinning my knots around to the back because I want the lifesaver to be in the front. Yeah, we'll move this one around to the other
Lynn,
side.
I think she already did that. Yes, he did remember making the Lifesaver yarn things, right? Mike remembered.
Oh yeah, he remembers them. He doesn't remember how to do them. Like I was telling Steve, I remember how to do, like I remembered how to make these ones. I just couldn't remember how I made the top and the bottom. So I had to kind of experiment. But look, now we have a red one and a green one. So, and then you guys also have, oops, we did our red. His feet are a little too fluffy, but he's still super cute. Here's the one we made tonight with the red and white. And then we have our red and green guy. But there you guys go. Now you know how to make yarn men or yarn doll lifesaver ornaments for your Christmas trees. These would be super cute if any of you still have family members who remember these. These would be a super nice, you could put them on the packages like a package tie. You could put them in their stockings like someone else suggested, or just give them, like make a gift pack. Like I will do one red, one green, and one white for him. And then also replicate these in different color combinations, but so that he still has a super cute set of vintage yarn ornaments. Okay. Sharon says, are you using this setup for all of your tutorials now? I am. This is the setup in our private group. So I just did this tonight because there's no way that filming from the front here, you wouldn't see the close-up. You wouldn't see the detail in what I was doing, no matter how much we zoomed. So this is just, if we're gonna do something like this, then we'll do overhead, but the wreaths, we'll just go ahead and do it from the front. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this super simple tutorial. I wanted to keep it short and simple. Don't forget, a lot of people are doing Black Friday sales. I am doing Black Friday all the way through Cyber Monday. So everything in my shop is 20% off. Don't forget Kringle Designs between now and Sunday is doing 60% off all their ribbons, sign, and mesh. So that's an amazing deal if you guys are looking for some great craft supplies. It's kringledesigns.us. Who else? And Jane's Front Door Decor is doing 20% off all her signs. So make sure you take advantage of those for moving ahead. looking at Valentine's Day. I know it's crazy. We're not even Christmas. But Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July, and then Easter and spring. Okay, everyone, well, have a great weekend. Private group, I will see you on Sunday. Bye, everyone.